Hi everyone! So this video is going to be a bit different and probably kind of weird. I've never done anything like this before, so we'll see how it goes. The concept today is that I'll be turning music genres into outfits, and I'll be showing you a bit of my creative process for this since I think that's the interesting part. One thing to note is that I'm not going to be buying anything new for these outfits, I'm just going to use what I have in my wardrobe already. Unfortunately, that means I probably won't achieve my ideal vision for all these outfits, but that's okay, I'm just going to work with what I have. The music genres I'll be doing today are actually just 3 subgenres of electronic music. I found those the most inspiring, so that's what I'm going with for today, but if I do something like this again in the future, I can definitely branch out a bit more. Well, here goes. The first genre I chose is called future bass. This is a subgenre that tends to be very cheerful and upbeat. It takes a lot of inspiration from like anime, chiptune, general like poppy kind of music. I associate music very strongly with not only colors but also temperatures and seasons. So I actually thought that future bass would be perfect for right now because I do associate it with like February through April when it's like 40 degrees outside. It's starting to warm up, but it's still pretty sunny outside, so I thought that would be a good one. Here's the mood board I made for this genre. In terms of colors, I obviously lean more towards the pastels. The colors I specifically think of when I hear this music are sky blue, pale yellow, and this very desaturated mauve color. But honestly, pastel pink and white also work really well. In terms of material, you can see I have both sweatshirts and that PVC-like plasticky stuff on here. I feel that the transparency and shininess of the plastic stuff and the coziness of sweatshirts together represent to me the duality I get from this music, where it's kind of artificial and futuristic, but also has this familiarity and chillness to it. In terms of silhouette for the outfit, I thought the sweatshirt with skirt look would make sense. It's a very Japanese and Korean style, and the silhouette makes sense to me for this music. Don't ask how, I can't really explain it. Maybe it's something to do with the temperature, where it's like warm but not so warm that you want to wear full summer clothes? Sure, let's go with that. So here's what I had to work with to build my outfit. Unfortunately, I don't have very much in my closet in terms of pastels. Like, I really wanted to include that pale yellow color, but I don't really wear yellow at all unless it's that like dark mustardy kind of color. I also don't have any PVC stuff, so I'm not going to get my ideal outfit for this genre, but here's what I got. I ended up going for that sweatshirt plus skirt silhouette. I really wanted to use that pink graphic t-shirt because I thought the art on it was perfect for the genre. In fact, that's why I bought the shirt originally, is because it reminded me of future bass. So I put it under this sheer pink sweatshirt. Originally, I wasn't going to use this blue skirt because I didn't think it was pastel enough, but I actually think it looks okay. And then, of course, I went for the white thigh-high socks and white platform boots to match. For accessories, I chose to go with holographic and iridescent stuff, but overall I did keep it pretty simple and just let the colors speak for themselves. For my makeup, I just did a kind of anime-inspired e-girl type look because I think it fit. If you want to check out more future bass, I highly recommend Waifu Wednesdays on YouTube. They have a lot of future bass in one spot, so you can kind of just put on a playlist and chill, and it's a good way to find a bunch of new artists as well. So dark synthwave was something I got super into last fall. I think because it gives me a similar temperature to future bass, but instead of that bright happy tone, it's more like dark and rainy. This genre is very cyberpunk feeling, like it's got that retro techno synth flavor, but it's way more like edgy and aggressive. There's also regular synthwave, but I prefer this variant just because I like my music to be very intense. My mood board for dark synthwave is exactly what you'd expect. Just a lot of cyberpunk stuff, really. So I mostly associate bright red, orange, and neon pink with this genre, but a lot of the images I ended up finding were blue, so my mood board doesn't really represent the color palette I was picturing. Of course, neon lights in general make a lot of sense for this one. In terms of materials, things like leather and mesh I think make sense. Leather, especially with its shininess, I think that conveys the rainy feeling that I get. For this silhouette, I definitely picture something pretty form-fitting, maybe because the persona I've created for this genre is like a futuristic / cyberpunk assassin, so assassins obviously can't wear baggy clothes because they need to be able to parkour around the city. Of course, the utility of tech wear makes a lot of sense in this scenario as well. I had a lot more things to work with in my wardrobe for this one, just because I think the materials are something I already like and try to buy, and I definitely have plenty of black clothing. Aside from, of course, neon and light up things, which would have been really cool to have. My final outfit is mostly all black with orange accents. I definitely went more into the cyberpunk assassin persona, so I tried to go more techwear inspired, using that asymmetric zip hoodie and thigh bag. Of course, I wore leather pants because I felt like I really needed that shininess, and they look cool. I do have a sheer top and sports bra just for something under the sweatshirt that kind of fits into that active lifestyle, but I think just looks right with the rest of the outfit. I piled on accessories because I really like that strappy look where you're just kind of wearing a bunch of stuff, very techwear inspired. I especially like these earrings though. The color on the edge of the clear acrylic gives it a sort of glowing effect, which I thought was really cool for this look, especially because I didn't have any actual glowing accessories I could use. For my makeup, of course I had to go with my metallic dark silver lipstick, and I paired it with graphic eyeliner. My favorite artist for dark synthwave is Carpenter Brut, but there's a ton of really good artists, and there's plenty of good playlists on Spotify and YouTube if you want to find more. Okay, so this one is super obscure and really only refers to a few specific artists, but I love this music and thought it would be really fun to do, so I brought it in. It's basically Japanese hardcore electronic music, which is already really specific, but then it also includes samples and references to classical music, so it's been dubbed hardcore classical for that reason. There's heavy use of piano and orchestra, along with the addition of hard-hitting effects that are really only seen in hardcore. It oscillates between distorted, aggressive electronic sounds and flowing piano runs. After I showed the genre to one of my friends, he said it made him feel like a fancy vampire, and I kinda love that. I also just really enjoyed this genre because I do appreciate some good classical music, plus I really like hardcore electronics, so this is kind of the perfect genre for me. I think my mood board for this one conveys exactly what I'm describing. Styles like Gothic Lolita and Victorian type stuff make a lot of sense here. Basically anything really ornate but in darker colors. Aside from black, of course, the colors this genre makes me think of are maroon, deep green, and metallic gold. Dramatic silhouettes with draping and brocade patterns fit super well. For some reason when I was listening to some of this while making the mood board, both that staircase and the spiky gothic fence were two very specific images that I got in my head, so they're on here too. I also threw on a cheesy little vampire costume because I thought it would be funny. In terms of materials for this one, I definitely lean towards lace, velvet, and satin. I actually did have some stuff to pick from in my wardrobe for this one, which is great. What I did end up using was this black and maroon brocade skirt, which I thought would be perfect. I do wish I had something shiny or velvet for the top, but the one shoulder thing I think does a pretty good job of looking fancy. The black kimono shawl thing adds the extra drama that I needed. I paired this with ornate gold accessories and of course a spiky gold bracelet. For my makeup, I paired a matte red lip with a gold smoky eye to tie everything together. The best artist for this genre is definitely Team Grimoire / DJ Grimoire. I'm not sure if that's the same person, just different names. Not all of their stuff is on Spotify because they're Japanese, so a lot of it's region locked, and also a lot of their music is in games, so there's licensing issues that keep it from being on Spotify. However, all their music is on YouTube in some form or another if you want to check it out. I know this video was a little weird, but I had a lot of fun with it. I definitely wouldn't mind doing this sort of thing again with different genres. Otherwise, if there's something else you want me to try to turn into outfits, feel free to leave suggestions in the comments. Otherwise, thanks for watching. See you next time.